tell us about this next book now that's coming out. When's it coming out? And tell us about that.
Yeah. The book is, with any luck, it'll be done by the end of 2020. I've written one. It's both a torture and a joy. The book is about building an ultimate workplace. The first book is Be the Ultimate Assistant. And the second book that behind me, you can see a lot of leadership books, and those aren't all the books I have. I've read a lot of the best-selling books out there, and I believe there are some pieces missing from the books that exist. And one of them is about the gender differences in the workplace. I want to talk about the ways to build an ultimate workplace and why it matters. Why does it matter in this workplace? If leaders are coming out of school and building businesses, and if in fact it's true that they want high retention, they want high productivity, and they certainly want high profits, then I believe that I'm seeing things all over the world that will help them do that. And part of it is the partnership between leaders and assistants. And there certainly is going to be a chapter on discrimination and inequity in the workplace. Because when, another word for inequity, if you feel like things are not fair in the workplace, that's another word for discrimination, sure. Right? And that's another word for disrespect. If people feel that it's not fair, then that is a feeling of disrespect, and that is a formula that puts a process in motion for eventually that person is going to leave. But they'll probably go leave to work for the competition.
Sure.
So I want to reveal many of the things that I have now talked to many graduates of business schools who confirm for me, no, Bonnie, I didn't learn that in business school. Nope. Had to kind of just learn by experience.
Okay. So
I don't think that's good enough. I don't think that's good enough.
So something you mentioned there is, feel disrespected in the workplace, this type of stuff. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a, I don't know if it's art, science, or whatever, to go about confronting these things, right? I think that some people are just they are who they are. They come from a paradigm different than mine or yours, and they come across disrespecting maybe, but they don't mean to, and they really care about you, but they don't seem like they do, right?
Right.
And so how is it that we what do you how do you go about like confronting these things, right? To understand deeply if it's really a problem, or if it's just this is their culture and you can help them improve on it, so they don't disrespect other people, right? Because I think there's often that's the case that I find. I mean, when I have people on my team, I don't want anyone on my team that I don't think is a loving person that cares about others, but yet some of those people still, they get frustrated over something, or they're short because they're thinking about something else,
right?
And they have this little element of disrespect. But yet, if that person that's disrespected can confront them in a closed door room and say, "Gosh, I didn't feel like I was respected the way you fired off at me like that," right? I mean, there's got to be a way to do that consistently somehow. Right?
Sure.
I don't see it being done well enough in my world.
I would agree with you completely, and of course the key, it won't be a surprise to you, it's communication.
Of course. Yeah.
But we're not teaching it. We're not teaching it to men, and we're not teaching it to women. So if someone is being disrespectful but not aware of it, they're oblivious, right? And so I ask a room full of assistants, what's the only way to help somebody who's clueless and oblivious to understand what's really going on? And of course they shout back at me, tell them. Yes. And so the way to tell them, it really is about specificity, and it takes practice, because my goodness, nobody likes confrontation. So the main reason to confront anybody is about the future. It's about, I need to talk about what happened at the meeting yesterday because I want next week's meeting to be better. Yeah. So if someone offends you in a meeting, one of the strategies is to go straight to them after the meeting and say, "May I have 5 minutes?" I need to talk to you about what just happened in the meeting in there. That when you said, and then you have to have the person say, yeah, okay, I have 5 minutes, or no, I don't have 5 minutes. Well, if you don't have 5 minutes now, can I have it before the end of the day because I have something important on my mind?
Right. Yeah.
And these kinds of things need to be said calmly, clearly, and directly. And then, to look someone in the eye. See, it's really easy to hit send on a computer.
Yeah.
It's way harder to look somebody in the eye and say, when you said XYZ to me in the meeting just now, you may not have known this, but it made me feel that you don't trust my work, or that made me feel that you don't think I'm good at my job. And I need to ask you, it's bothering me so much. And I value our relationship, and I want to have a productive, working relationship with you moving forward. I need you to please tell me, do you feel like that?
Yeah.
And if you don't feel like that, then could we make a change from now on? Because it's making me feel bad and it's preoccupying me. Most people know that if you're worried about something, you're preoccupied, you're resentful, you're angry, whatever, that's taking up brain space, valuable brain space that is not serving the company. You cannot possibly do great work if you're feeling.
So the thing that I always challenges me is I 100% always want a workplace that respects everyone, that actually loves each other. Right? I want people to love each other. I want to love every team member that goes to work every day working in our businesses, and I also love them to love each other if I could. Right? Not to say it's going to happen, but it happens.
Try for.
Try for it. And if they love each other as friends, they're looking out for each other, they care about each other, and hopefully the conversations get much easier to have, right? But I think if as leaders, if we can grow leaders and executive assistants that you're talking about, that challenge, that are willing to be challenged by people that report to them, and in a way that's open and fun loving. Hey man, challenge me. I ask people, challenge me whenever you can. If you don't think I'm not respecting somebody, you or somebody, please call me out. You will never get demoted, fired, anything for that. I guarantee it, right? And I try to tell her that, but still enough of it doesn't happen, in my opinion. Like Debbie is great at that, right? And my kids find it easy, of course, because I'm their totally imperfect father. But many people still look at me or people in positions of leadership and are still apprehensive and calling you out, worried about that stuff. And I think if you can grow in businesses, that the leaders, whether they're VPs, their presidents, their CEOs, whoever, their managers, are embracing people challenging them. It's an amazing environment, right?
It is, but that requires role modeling for sure. Like in a staff meeting, if your team sees somebody do it, Robbie challenges you on something, and you actually reward him for that. It's really Pavlov's dogs. It's your theory here. It's if people are rewarded for doing the right thing, to do what you're saying, which is to challenge you, which in a positive way, and to say, you know what, I have a differing thought about that, Gary. Can I tell you what I'm thinking?
Yeah.
And then other people get to see that Robbie got to say that and lived to tell the tale, and he didn't get fired and he got promoted.
Right.
So that sends a really positive message. And boy, assistants need that fivefold.
Exactly.
They need it even more encouragement. I have an assistant. For the last 7 years, we work virtually. She's in Jersey. I'm here in Florida, as you know. And when I hired her, I said to listen, the thing that is the one of the only things that's going to get me upset is if you know something or see something or hear something that I should know and you don't tell me because you're frightened to. I need you to be my eyes and ears. I, more than anybody, know that the world is talking to assistants. I mean, Gary, you know that people say things to Debbie that they might not say to you. And then Debbie can turn around and find a way to say something to you because you're the leader. I don't really love the word boss. When you're the executive, when you're in charge, it's just human nature to not want to be the messenger of bad news. But
Sure.
We effective leaders want that. And of course, it takes a very secure leader to be accepting of that and to want to surround yourself with people who are smarter than you in certain
Yes.
ways.
Yes.
That's
In
what I
many,
think.
many ways. Yeah. I love it. Robbie, what else you got for this all-star of a leader we got here?
Wow.
Rob?
One question that was coming to mind for me is obviously the next book that you're writing is in regard to the entire workplace. So I'm interested to understand if your long run vision here is to eventually get into org place strategies and culture and development, or if you're thinking that you're going to stick towards executive assistant route, or what are you thinking?
No, what I'm thinking is that in this book, in my first book about being an assistant, I was able to tap my assistant colleagues from all over the world, celebrity assistants and other assistants. In this book, and Gary, I think you've already said yes to me, that I want to interview CEOs like Gary. And I mean, nobody's like Gary, but you know what I mean. I'm going to be interviewing leaders, CEOs. I have comments and quotes from HR professionals. I have quotes and commentary from recruiters and from assistants. And those are the four main constituencies in the workplace. These are the people, the stakeholders who are responsible for getting us all in the building together or virtually, however that works. But these four constituencies are not doing a great job right now of talking to each other.
Right.
And certainly there's a lot of contention about HR departments and HR professionals. And boy, the workplace is, they're being challenged. HR is being challenged. And I believe we could do a much better job of collaborating with them as opposed to, many assistants feel like this with HR. So leaders and HR and assistants and recruiters, I want to all have a voice. I'm trying, Robbie, to give the people in our workplace who have often been invisible, I want to give them a voice in this book to reveal to any leader who is interested in what an ultimate workplace might look like, what do they need from that? And partly what women need, is to not be sexually harassed, to not be bullied and intimidated in meetings, and by the way, to be paid fairly.